Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Man Tomorrow here. I want to thank you guys for coming through. I'm going to ask an interesting question that that something it needs to be talked about because people want to make people responsible for things that they're clearly not responsible for. So make sure you hit the like button upon coming in and give me a minute here while everybody come file in so that way we can be able to talk about this topic. All right, let's roll through. All right, man. So, like everything else, like anything else, you have to realize before you start any movement, before you start or try to solve any problem, you have to understand that you're dealing with a clientele issue. Shit. They got done with my tires early. Hold on a second. Got to run in and pay real quick. Hold on a second. Ready to roll. Okay. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sorry about that. Walk through the shop. It's going to be kind of loud. Then I'm going to get back to this topic of conversation because y'all trying to make people responsible for things that they're not responsible for. And that's something that we got to talk about. All right? Stop. Yeah. So as you can see, I'm out here doing stuff. I'm out here constantly at work, consistently, all the time. I don't have time to be sitting around in no dark room in the dungeon with a whole bunch of graphics and shit. I'm actually out here doing shit every single day in the field that I'm consistently in. So let's talk about it. All right, so here we go. All right, David McKinney, what's going on? All right, so this is what you got. It doesn't matter what the movement is. Like, before we even come to the Black Manosphere or the SYSBM or the Passport Bros, let's go back before that. Let's go back to the Catholic Protestant situation. Catholics and Protestants, we know what their situation was. There were people who were fundamentalists that were Catholics, and then there was people who came around who wanted to do their own thing, which was Protestants. LOM, that's a whole conversation we got to have behind the scenes, man. Okay, you're going to have fundamentalists, and then you're going to have people who don't want to follow the fundamentals of any system, who's going to want an easier system for them to deal with. The Protestants wanted to interpret the Bible for themselves, and they wanted to lead the church. But the Catholics wanted to have control over the situation, even if they had to use violence against these people to actually keep it going. I'm not saying we should go that far, but I'm just saying how long it's been since people started to come into movements, whether they actually agree with the movement or not. They try to make the movement one of their own. They try to take the movement in another direction, taking a whole bunch of people with them. And then they try to make it up to the people who actually created the movement to actually recover all of those individuals who are going in all different directions for whatever reason. You've got to understand that you're starting off with a clientele issue. Most people think that anybody who's fundamentalist about anything is too hard or too harsh, because a lot of these people are trying to make the time that they spent previously in a bad system work in a new system. So when clout chasers and people who just come along trying to flip your actual topic or actual issue that you're actually creating, that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with people who still want to hang around and deal with the same level of low quality women, but they want to claim SYSBM, Passport Bros, or Black Manosphere. A lot of these dudes don't even have access to the women that they're actually complaining about. A lot of these dudes ain't even got their economics together, so that way they can buy themselves into a new system. Most of these people ain't got their discipline piece in order, so that way they can stay away from problematic things. Most people ain't got their time management system down, to where they completely focus in on their own issues rather than trying to go into this ready-made home atmosphere because they want to maintain in-house pussy. Like, there's a lot of issues that people are actually dealing with that you expect for these actual movements to solve. So let's say you have a cloud chaser who come around. All right, you know what? Let's not go that far yet. Okay, let's say you have the Protestant Catholic system. Okay, let's say the Protestants come to America. They're doing all this slavery shit. They're using religion as the justification for that. And that's why you had so many whites who was ultra religious who did not mess with slavery like that. Because they thought that now these whites actually didn't see you as equals either, but they did not want their religion being used as a justification for subjugation of people. That's why you have so many white abolitionists who were abolitionists and religious. They just didn't want their religion being used as a justification for committing acts of atrocity. And yes, you can have two things going on at the same time. You can have people that don't really mess with black people like that. And you can have people who don't want their actually religion being slandered like that. You can have both of those things going on at the same time. And most of these people, they had good intentions. Their good intentions was, look, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, but you're gonna stop calling yourself Christian while you do it. That's what their only issue was. And they knew that these people wasn't gonna do that. That's why it had to come to bloodshed and violence in those situations. Okay, let's take it up a notch. Let's say we passed that. Now, all those Christian conservatives are still the Christian conservatives of yesteryear. They're still the same people. They still believe in the same thing. They do not care. They don't even care about their own religion. But there's nobody there who's going to hold them responsible for anything. Who's policing that group? Nobody's policing that group. It's an at-will group. You get to join that group. You get to find what part of the group that you want to get to join, and you get to leave. That's just two different things. Think about how many denominations of Christianity there is right now. I don't know. I don't keep up with it. But I do know the real ones who actually practice and preach the word of the actual book. Because I was raised by fundamentalist Christians. So I know the actual difference between those individuals that are using the religion for bad, actual things, and those individuals who are using it for reason and decency. I know the difference between them. I don't have to go around expecting Christianity to police itself. Just like I don't expect Jews to go around policing themselves. I don't expect for Muslims to go around policing themselves. I don't expect for women to go around policing themselves. Well, really not all that much. You know, you have to be able to like, look, these are the decent crops, these are the indecent crops. This is what the decent crop is doing, this is what the indecent crop is doing. And you have to go through that. And you have to tell the difference between them. So you're trying to get people like us, people who've been doing this content for like 6+ years, to go and police people who are on TikTok, people who are on Facebook about misusing the national movement. That's not our job. Our job is to still be on the stuff that we own. Our job isn't to go out there and police dumbass people. That's not our job. That's never been our job. That's never really been our job. Think about it. As soon as black people got the right to pretty much vote without any sort of hassle from the Christian Conservative Party of the United States, so that's what the 1965 Civil Rights Bill was about. And the moment that we got the actual ability to participate in the actual conversation, you had people, because the black church was very strong back then. They did a very lot of good things, like making sure that these kids was connected to the productivity. So you had people down there who paid these actual pastors to make sure that these pastors stopped their actual congregation from showing up to vote. These people went down there, paid these churches to make sure that their people were not actually engaging in the actual process that everybody else spent their time to actually make sure that they got access to. Again, we're talking about people who went down there and bought up these black pastors, and all of a sudden, it went from people who went to seminary school to pretty much people who was on some mouthpiece shit running the goddamn black church. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Then it went from saving souls and building families to saving hoes and destroying families and trying to get men to actually link up with out of pocket women. Was there an actual movement to actually make sure that these individuals didn't do what they did? No, no, there was no movement to get these people out of pocket. There was no movement to fix that. Okay, that's the black church. Let's move it up to the actual pro blacks. Okay, you had people who had degrees, PhDs, that did stuff in the community that was very visible. A lot of them participated in the political process. A lot of them got killed by the government, and quite specifically, most people who didn't want them engaging in the process or questioning power at the time. Then you had the infiltration of the pro-black movement from the same people who infiltrated the black church. It went from saving souls to saving holes. Again, same thing. Because most pro-blacks are trying to save the community because they want access to these women, and they want other men to pay for it. So they went and stole the valor, the names, and the actual identities, and claimed that they knew all the background of all the struggle and all this kind of other stuff, in order to squat on the actual women, damage them, and then expect everybody else to pay for the shit later on. This is why most people who claim to be pro-black don't like movements like Passport Bros, SYSBM. They don't like the Black Manosphere actually pointing out and complaining about the woman that they worship, because there has to come a time in those valid complaints, not the invalid ones, the valid complaints, in asking, well, how the hell did we get here in the first place? Because once you start asking how the hell we get here in the first place, now you have to hold the people responsible who don't want you criticizing the circumstances of those people. That's the whole trick behind this whole thing. It has to go where it started. And let's say that you raise a bunch of politically ignorant motherfuckers who don't know or give a fuck about history, who don't want to read, who don't want to do anything. They're going to come to any movement with the ability to join any group that allows them to keep the same bullshit that they was on. They keep the same BS that they was on before. Because a lot of these people want to ride the fine line of being out of pocket and having the protection of a group. Call Central Red TV. You see, that's the issue. Because there is a how we got here. And there is a who is responsible for putting these people in this environment. But see, we don't want to hold people who are directly responsible for that. We want to allow the people who are directly responsible for that to try to hold everybody else to the responsibility of fixing their mistakes. They think because they took up arms behind the fix the community issue, they don't have to address the who damaged and destroyed and who created these problems in the first place issue. And you got the women who are sitting in the middle. They don't want to reconcile what the fuck they put people through anyway. They don't want to reconcile the fact that they had a whole system that benefited them. This is why most women, once you bring that shit up to them, the first thing they try to tell you that how bitter you are, we need to be able to work together. They don't want to reconcile their history either. You want to know why? They don't want to come to grips with the fact that this whole system is set up for them to win and they still on the market too. They don't want to reconcile that. It's easier to shut you up. Just like it's easier for the pro-black to try to shut up the criticism. It's easier for the bad educational grifters to come out here and try to take away the blame from one group of people and try to lay it at the next. Because we want to absolve people of the past, but we want to hold everybody responsible for the future when it's not mutually exclusive on both sides. And you know damn well it's not mutually exclusive on both sides. Yes, you have a bunch of inexperienced men who are complaining about overexperienced women that they have never had any access to, but it's mad as shit that this is what they only have access to because they ain't got their economics in order. So they become overly concerned about the woman's condition, even though they didn't put them in that condition, and even though they don't want anything out of these women. They already said that they don't want to take care of their kids. They already said that they fucking ran through. They already said that they fucking baby mamas, but they don't want to move past them. I'll answer that, Bob, later on. Yes and no. So what I'm saying is, when you look at these movements and you look at these people and you look at the clout chasers and you look at the new people using the hashtags and all this kind of other shit, you gotta understand that people built their platforms off of movements that they did not build. They didn't super chat. They didn't come to nobody's live stream. They didn't do none of that shit. And that's not an actual issue for the people who've been doing the right thing. It's an issue for those people who just wanted a place to be, a place to hang out. Because whenever you run into somebody who doesn't know anything about the manosphere or the reason why we're here, it's always the same issue. The same issue is that you don't know the history. The same issue is that you don't know where these phrases come from. The same issue is that you just wanted a place to hang out. The same issues was that you was looking for a place to fit in. Then you look at the people who you like, oh man, that's too harsh. Oh man, there ain't no way we're gonna be able to do that. Oh man, I'm never gonna be able to stay away from these women. Ha ha ha. Like, bro, we didn't come here to solve your sexual dinner plate issues. This is what not the manosphere is about. This is not what on any online movement was about. It was about laying out the actual problem, not a guidepost to get back in them, by the way, which what Manosphere 2.0 did. But laying out these actual problems to help you move on to a better solution. The Manosphere itself was a processing facility. The processing facility of the Manosphere was helping you to what your actual end goal was. So long ago. If your end goal was you wanted to try to be player and try to be bitch rich with the current level of broken women out there, you found your tribe. The Manosphere helped you find your tribe. If your actual end goal was to get your stuff together, which is less than 1% of the actual people, you also found your tribe. If you wanted to pretend like you wanted progress, keep dealing with the same women and keep trying to make yourself look like you this swag captain of the MAGA football team, yeah, you found your tribe. Yes, the Manosphere was a processing facility. It helped you pick the side that you was on, even if you don't understand that you picked the side. If you wanted to learn about the background of politics and how we got here and how we're gonna move from here, you also found your tribe. It was a processing facility. It was to send you off in whatever direction that your end goal was. Yes, if you wanted to look up to fake pimps and fake street dudes and all this other shit and game and all that kind of other shit, you found your tribe. The processing facility didn't fail. The failures found their tribe. Yes, they did. So you cannot be mad at the Manosphere or SYSBM or Passport Bros or any of that stuff. These were options and choices that help people find where they actually wanted to be. You cannot hold the people who've been on their stuff from day one to the responsibility that you're not holding the people to who are merely using these hashtags and movements to restart the gender war and to build their own level of popularity off shit that they didn't build. You can't hold us to the responsibility of correcting those people. What's going on, OW504? What's going on in the human chapter? That's what I'm saying. This was a process facility to help people find their tribe, to find out what their actual intentions were. Like the red pill, the black pill, the blue pill. We're processing facilities to help people find their tribe, to find their end goal, to find out where they want it to be. You're trying to hold us to a level of responsibility that is beyond people's intentions. You cannot control people's intentions. You know full well you can't control these people's intentions. Like when that dude who went to 21 Studios meetup or whatever, when he shot up that place in downtown Denver, I did not hold 21 Studios responsible for that shit. You want to know why? That dude had nothing to do with that dude pulling out a gun and shooting up people in that area. Because that ain't why he put his content together. So that way men can actually do that as an end goal. Now, if people want to do that stuff as an end goal, that has nothing to do with the group previous to where they came from. You don't know what's inside people's heads or hearts. You don't know what they're going to do when they get access to this information. It's almost like trying to sue gun manufacturers because people are committing suicide with actual firearms. When most people who commit suicide from these actual firearms have owned them for a while. It isn't people who just go out, get a gun, shoot themselves, and get up out of here. Very small percentage of the case. No, 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 no. I'm just saying that a dude who attended one of those conferences was involved in a mass shooting, and they tried to blame that dude and the shit for it, and that ain't that cool. Nah, you got to hold these people responsible for what they're doing. You can't hold the group responsible for that. If these individuals are on some bullshit, don't bring it to me. Take it to them. Why don't you ask those people? How come they so out of pocket with the way they represent the movement that they know that them deal? Why are you putting that on the people who are doing it right? Now I do this shit to PhDs and fake master teachers is because they came here specifically to guide our group into bullshit. That's why I do it on that specific level. Because most of these people are above the age of 45 and they on some whole shit, like they don't know what the fuck been going on in this environment the entire time. Trust me, if you have the background that we have as black men in this country, there ain't no way that you wouldn't know the fucking history of what the fuck you're talking. It's just a slap in the face to everybody who ever done anything to protect anyone inside this environment, no matter where you are. What's going on, Quincy Prince? What's going on, Garfield Lawson? That's why I say this. You're gonna have these magos who come through and fuck up every movement. They're gonna fuck up every movement. Because there's way more clout chasing people in our specific demographic than there is people who want to get out there and work. You already know that shit. So if you already know that shit, then why would you try to hold us responsible for individuals that you know is out of pocket? You don't hold them responsible at all. And here's the other thing. Most of these people they actually fucking complain about, they are over in their fucking chat rooms. They're not speaking, they're not talking, but they're over in the chat room. Dude, I can pull up my analytics right now. I can pull up my analytics right now. The top places that people are fucking subscribed to is Pearly Thing and Pink Pill Lessons and fucking all this other shit. That ain't got nothing to do with progress. But then again, they come over here and send me emails and try to send me snippets and clips and shit and try to get me to go after these other motherfuckers. But they took their dumb ass over there to watch that shit in the first place. Again, I'm not stupid. That's what you motherfuckers want. It's fine with me. But what I'm saying is you trying to put all the attack in my hands while you go off and do whatever the fuck you want to do with your goddamn life. And it's like, bro, that's not fair to me, man. That's not fair to the people who built these actual movements. It's not fair. Listen, if you can't keep your dick out of the wrong type of woman at this point in time, brother, I can't help you. I can't help you at all. If you're dealing with the wrong type of woman right now in 2023, if you hung up on complaining about women right now in 2023, dude, there is no help for you, and there shouldn't be no safe haven or no safe harbor for you anywhere. But at the end of the day, the clout chasers shines, they don't care about that. They give you exactly what you cannot stay away from. And they watch you meet out the actual idea that your ass ain't got no principle. But that's currently where we are. Now, you would think he was in his 30s over the lack of actual development that this motherfucker talk about. No, he in his 60s. Yes, you have to understand that a lot of these people is going to be dealing with the same type of demographic of woman because that's the only type of woman that they actually have access to. It's not because they love this woman at all. That's not the case. If you actually love this woman, you would be fixing her fucking issues. You would get your shit together. Her kids would be straight. You wouldn't be feeling worried about black boys not fucking doing well in school and all that goofy ass shit. No, you would actually walk in like a relief pitcher. Relief pitchers don't relief pitchers don't complain about the game that they have to pitch in. Relief pitchers, when they come in on this fresh slice of garbage that they've been called in to clean up, they shut up and they clean up. They shut up and they try to strike out every batter that comes up. They come up and they make sure that they try to put their team that they currently own in a position to win, even if they don't have the ability to win the game. They still play as if they're going to win. That's how relief pitchers work. You've never seen a relief pitcher in a baseball game be called into a baseball game knowing that he has to throw to the batter and refuses to throw the ball. You've never seen that in a baseball game. You're a relief pitcher. You know what job you signed up for as a relief pitcher. You know what job you practiced for as a relief pitcher. You know that your ass ain't starting as a relief pitcher. You know what level in this actual dugout that your ass is in as a relief pitcher. You know that your ass is not called to pinch hit if that's the actual league that you're in. As a relief pitcher, you know that your ass ain't about to pinch run for nobody as a relief pitcher. You know your ass is here as a relief pitcher. So if you took up your role in society as a relief pitcher and you decided to deal with broken women like you supposed to, there ain't no way you could be having these level of complaints for women that you actually signed up to play the game with. And that's most of the issue when it comes to movements getting destroyed. People want the ability to go out there low hanging fruit and then they want to actually blame a whole other movement for the shit. Yes. Think about some of these educated shines who come out here talking shit, writing all these articles about the manosphere. I actually agree with some of the manosphere. Then they don't even address what they agree with the manosphere with. Why you talk about these women? That's the issue. The women think they feel like they're being protected by these non-productive ass men who's trying to get them riled up and not reconcile the actual path that they took to get in the position that they're in and blame men who are complaining about women. Again, there's two things going on at the same time. There's people who shouldn't be complaining about women because they don't have access to them. And then there's men who's trying to rile up the actual women to make the men who are actually complaining about the women who got valid complaints to make them shut up about the complaints. There's two different things going on at the same time. Two different things going on at the same time. But can't nobody reconcile either one of those things just because one is responsible for the issue or one doesn't have any actual experience with it. There's a lot of these dudes around here acting like they are freshly released slaves from 1865. People who act like they just now got access to the productivity piece, like there was a slave on somebody's plantation ever since they was a young child. When the truth is, they just didn't take the productivity piece seriously until they had no choice but to take it seriously, because they had the child support man on their back. Or they had to take it seriously because they ain't got nobody else to live with. They ain't got no more chances. They ain't got nobody else to screw over in society and environment. They ain't got nothing else. So they want to take on these existing problems as if they're their problems when they don't have any level of experience with those things. That's a problem. So that's what I'm saying. You trying to make the people who created these movements be responsible for it. You tried to make the people from 1.0 come back from not even doing content because y'all betrayed the concept by supporting most of these dudes who are still out of pocket in 2.0. Because there was a time where you could not have supported these people once you seen what they was on. That's what I'm saying. You trying to make the people who doing it right police the people who are doing it wrong. When the people who are doing it wrong are leveraging all these trafficking sources, some shit I ain't got no interest in doing. Cause look, y'all not about to call me up and try to have me be responsible for some shit that I didn't create. No, I'll address that. But you got to realize that. You have to realize that. Like people like, oh, the brain trust should be doing all this stuff. Like, bro, y'all didn't support it. We're gonna be out here doing the work, but you have to realize that you expected fuckery and foolishness to be outran by reason when you know our society isn't set up for that. When you know the YouTube algorithm isn't set up for that. Dude, there's so many people I have to re-educate about the history that I just don't do it anymore. I still have to have this conversation about people who think that certain people was a positive impact on this space when this positive impact he was trying to fix the women for the men to walk into. When he was on 1099 relationships, not even fucking with the women that he was trying to straighten out. You point this out to a person, they're like, oh, I didn't see it that way. The fuck you mean you couldn't see it that way? I had to bring it up to you? No, 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 no. I had to bring it up to you is because you didn't want to fucking recognize and see that shit. You just wanted access to these broken people who was being fixed until the shit was brought to your face and then you had to reconcile it. Some of this shit you got to see on your own, man. You're waiting on somebody to be reasonable for you on your behalf. Some of this stuff, most of this stuff, all of this stuff is on you. This shit is at will. Again, you don't need to see face to see reason. You know exactly where you want to be at. You know that shit. Don't give me that shit. Oh man, I hope Zero come back. Dude, Zero out here doing him. Don't wish for that dude to come back and do content that y'all motherfuckers ain't supporting really right away. Y'all act like there has to be this dual sided thing for you to actually support shit and not. I guarantee you he can look at his analytics. He can see exactly who the fuck everybody else is subscribed to and where they moved on to after they listened to his content. That's where we at. That's where we at. But then again, the eyeballs are with the people who's doing it wrong. This is why the individual outcomes matter. Trust me, I know you ain't knocking it out of the park listening to this bullshit every day. I know you ain't. I know you ain't. I see too many people messed up out here. I know what they do with their time. I know what they're not doing with their time too, based on the actual outcomes they have. You can't tell me that somebody's knocking it out of the park, making $100-some thousand a year. They got their shit straight. They dating a decent woman. They're not trying to, what I'm saying, hack and slash their way through the actual gender war conversation with their dick. They ain't doing none of that. And they making it too. They ain't doing none of that shit. But that's the issue. You want to go over there and listen to this conversation. You want to chase down political misinformation. You want to chase down bitch talk. You do want to do that. And then you want to make us go police other people when you can't even police your own internet connection? Are you serious? Bro, there ain't no way you can't stop these movements from being destroyed. You can't, because you can't change people's intentions. I actually didn't have a problem with him bringing Taz up there. I mean, Taz was going to do what Taz was going to do. He been given plenty of opportunities, and this is what this dude's on, man. He's a smart enough dude to know he's on that bullshit. He's capable of fucking talking about shit. He's capable of citing history. But at the end of the day, he has to act a certain way to keep a certain type of woman around, and I can't really fuck with that. But that's where we at. But like I said, you can't make other people responsible for your internet connection, though. Let me go back to this comment. Well, let's keep it a buck. The PhDs came here when they realized they were suckers for Black Studies program, sociology majors, and philosophy majors because Black academic women chased the bag. All right, let me get up with that. There is no such thing as a Black boy studies program where you study nothing but Black boy victimhood. You don't need a school for that. You can just give people different advice like, look, stay away from these group of people, get your fucking money together, and choose different individuals. You don't need a whole school that's based on Black boy victimhood, which is Tia Son Johnson's actual calling card within the manosphere, is to try to make everything or Black men look like victims or weak as fuck no matter what the actual circumstance is. And it has to be pointed out that that's what the fuck is going on here. You don't get to better women, better circumstances, better money by learning about how weak you are or how unable you are to choose different actual choices in society and end up with different results. They actually depend on you dealing with the same level of circumstances and having a complaint pit of broken fucking men to help you through that, which is what the Black manosphere actually turned into. That's the whole fucking thing. I mean, this is the thing about class that people don't want to get. People don't understand that in order to create a different class in a capitalistic society, you got to have economics in order to do that. You got to have group economics in order to do that. To create a different class, you have to have group economics to do that, which starts out of singular economics to do that. But see, since most people ain't trying to do the stuff the economic way, that's why there's so many problems in this society because people are trying to keep the conversation to such a low level to where most of the people who talk about women can still be considered valuable people within that actual concept. That's why this stuff is such a bad idea to hold the conversation hostage at such a low level for a very long period of time. You hold the conversation at such a low level for a long period of time, you actually ain't moving forward at all. That's the actual problem here. You can't protect these actual movements from men that are not moving anywhere. Like a lot of these people go to these new people with these start over conversations is because they're not moving anywhere. And they use these new content creators as actual cover to hide the fact that they know the answer to these questions already. They just have the inability to move to the actual answer. But see, that's what happens when you have the pool so crowded. Everybody just goes to the people who hold the conversation at such a low level, and they want to claim that they're being helped by it, even though these are the people who've been in everybody else's shit for the past 6 or 7 years. They know the answer to these questions already, but at the end of the day, they want to act like they don't know the answer to these questions, so that way they can hide in other people's faces, even though they know the answer to all this shit already. I slightly disagree with that, Rael. I just think that they don't see themselves as being anything else other than people who are pushing the entertainment piece and male victimhood at best. I have a slight disagreement with that because there is no way that most of these people want to create independent men that are independent of these problems about complaints about women or the lack of access to decent ones. Like, I don't think they're trying to create an actual environment for that. They can't create an environment for that. That's not possible. Say it again, Red Pill Finance. Doesn't take that long. Yeah, it didn't take that long for me to notice that the Mississippi Delta wasn't New York City. It didn't take that long. Only thing you can see is the lack of high rises downtown, and you'll know that you're in the wrong spot. The lack of actual investment, the lack of banking, the lack of good education, the lack of all that stuff. It didn't really take that long for you to understand that that area is not an area that you're supposed to be in unless you are in a retiree. It's a great place for you if you're a retiree. But if you're trying to still take care of a family, then that probably isn't the place for you. I don't think so. I think it's too easy to just come here and talk about entertainment and male victimhood because these dudes have the inability to stay away from the wrong type of women. I think that's way too easy. I think it's way too easy for that. But hey, I'm just one person. Just one person. You have to understand that the message matters and the outcomes matter. And if they're trying to lead you to a better place, then they should give you a timeline. I can give you a timeline. I can give you a direct timeline. Yeah, because my stuff works. You got to leave the wrong type of women alone. After you leave the wrong type of women alone and you stop trying to subsist on broken women inside of the environment, you go get your shit together. After you go get your shit together, you got to be a hell of a lot more disciplined and move within cultural environments and culture swap and Build yourself a strong social circle, so that way you have people who actually protect you within a social circle, rather than the reverse of a social circle that you have here within this place, where everybody is trying to keep the conversation kind of centered around lowbrow BS and women talk and game talk and goofy shit like that. You can probably get your shit together in less than 6 to 9 months. Choose the right career field. Your life ain't too messed up. But if you have 6 or 7 kids out here and your shit is super fucked up, then you need to exit the conversation. Because you got a lot of black doomers here too. Well, Rael, like I'm not worried about whether he did share it or not. It's okay for him not to share it. It's his choice and his decision to share what he don't want to share. It's his decision to do that. It's his decision because his end goal isn't about making sure that men get anywhere. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of that shit matters. You know BGS ain't leading nobody nowhere. You know Edward ain't leading nobody nowhere. You know the Roger Report ain't leading nobody nowhere. There's no reason to bring them up in this discussion. No need to bring them up. We know they ain't on that shit. We know it. Like I don't understand what the actual issue is. You know that if you remove the damaged black woman and her bullshit from the actual conversation piece, they ain't got nothing to talk about. No, no, no. I know he mentioned it, and I knew that's what he was doing, and I still didn't care either way. I don't want to force people to be in a situation that's not going to fit them. I'd rather people be honest as hell about their actual intentions with their actual eyeballs and what they watch. That's how you know they honest intentions about where they go after the conversation's over. That's how you know exactly what they own. I'm not worried about people coming to fuck around here. Like a lot of these people can't be reached. I already said that 98% of these people is out of here. Out of here. They're looking for another reason to go back in there. Can't blame dating coaches for that. They came here to leverage the irresponsibility of the men that were already here. What's going on, Charles Coleman? Actually, that's what I shared. What I shared on my actual community tab with this situation, because there were so many people who were trying to blame vaccines and shit about that when it was very specific about what happened with that dude. He took a concussion. It's just a concussion happened to his chest rather than his head. That's all it was. And if you get hit in a perfect spot in your chest, your heart will stop. Yeah, that dude probably gonna have a whole bunch of problems. You don't even know how this shit gonna pan out. Trust me, I had a brother who had a stroke. This dude is not the same. Not the same at all. And that dude will never be the same. But actually, Ryan, you have to understand that what he meant by help the black brain trust. Okay, to his credit, he did attempt to have conversations with us about productive things on his channel. He also helped the fact of knowing that that wasn't his end goal. His end goal was to keep a very specific conversation going. So he actually did help the Black Brain Trust separate from trying to bring up productive things in front of unproductive people. So he did help in that account. In his creation, he did not help grow. Even though it wasn't his creation, he just helped people separate and find their own tribe. The own tribe was everybody wasn't on some productivity piece shit. That's what the actual truth was. I keep telling you, you trying to do this shit around these current crop of people that you've accepted as normal, you're gonna have a lot of problems, man. Because they're on the same program that their mother was on. Choose a productive man. Make sure he don't go that far. Keep his ass trapped in some bullshit. Make sure that he stays unhappy. Make sure that he's still sexually dependent upon you. That's the program most of these people are running. It's really not that difficult. That's why I say this. If you keep messing with the wrong type of woman, I ain't got no room for you. None. No room for you at all. I see you with a disrespectful ass woman, I got no room for you at all. I see her disrespect you for any fucking reason, I got no room for you at all. No room for you at all. None. None, none, none. I'm not wasting any time on these type of people. Wasting no time. Because it isn't the woman that's the problem. It's the wrong problematic type of woman that you can't stay away from because you need her as a sexual meal ticket. That is a problem. It's a huge problem. And guess what comes with the woman in that type of situation? That's right. You know, she got the Magalites or actual grown Magals who actually want to eat off of productive men, which is you. Next thing you know, this dude is trying to hang around looking for scraps to fall off the table, even if he have to shape and damage and destroy the table to make scraps fall off of it. This is why the sexual discipline, please, go towards keeping people out of your life that cannot stay away from problematic fucking women for the most part. Yeah, hmm that's part of it. But he was attacking Generation Z for a while, man. Like he was doing that shit. Like, bro, like after he was like, with the other dudes who wanted to commit genocide, then he started getting on those Gen Z dudes for not knowing shit about things. Well, he never had an actual space for creating a place for them to learn anything. Even now, he ain't got a space for them to learn anything. He pushes a whole bunch of political misinformation, disinformation, and trying to keep these people mad at Stacey Abrams and all this dumbass shit. Like that's what's going on, man. What's going on? Authentic perspectives. But you have to understand that you cannot know the history of somebody and see the same shit that he's on, and don't have to need the track record of history to actually know what he's up to. Yeah, like what I'm advocating for is how Christianity used to run. What I'm advocating for is how the pro-blacks used to run. That's all I'm advocating for. I'm advocating for more standards, the old standard that worked. But then again, you had these dudes ride in on the back of trying to save broken women to signal to them that nothing is going to change and that they were going to create a crop of men who was going to take care of their responsibilities, therefore taking care of them too. That's what they was on. That's why they wanted this movement. That's why this movement was about bringing these expired and expired players and dinosaur Max back in this motherfucker. Why? To create a bunch of high value men so these women can pick apart. So that way none of this shit will work. Did you know that it's the same plan? It's always been the same plan. It's always been the same plan. Again, you can't make us responsible for that, man. Listen, these people have already decided what group and what tribe that they're going to be a part of. You cannot change them from that. There's nothing you can do about that. The only thing you can do is have better outcomes. That's how you even this shit up. Better outcomes. Not YouTube analytics. YouTube analytics is going to help a very small group of people. Better singular individual outcomes without social media, that's going to get you across the board. That is what's going to help you. Trying to follow all this shit and hoping that women get messages that they know damn well that they already know the answer to, bro, you lost. Bro, you lost. You gotta throw them off the ship, man. You gotta throw them off the ship. You gotta throw them off the ship. You can't help people who still think that complaints about the wrong type of woman to make them somehow the right type of woman, bro. You can't help nobody like that. Can't help nobody like that. Yeah. You know what else worked? Abrahamic law worked. It sure the hell did. It lets you know who was there and who wasn't. And guess what? Abrahamic law was so harsh that they damn near killed every Christian that was in the group. That's why they got rid of Abrahamic law. They couldn't follow simple directions. Simplistic rules laid out before them, they couldn't follow them. So in order to save the actual numbers in the group, they had to get rid of the standards. Yeah, this shit ain't that difficult. It's the same shit. I swear to you, it's the same problem. Exactly the same problem, man. Yes. What happened when Moses went into that mountain? The people immediately found something else to worship. They put together, somehow found fire to make a golden bull to worship. They made this out of nothing. That's what I'm saying. If you want to keep that being the standard of masculinity, that's what it's going to be all day. But that's what people was on, man. Like, bro, like you got to understand, man, this shit ain't that hard, man. It really isn't. That was back in the day. Now it's the day that people who want man code, they want the protection of the Catholic Church. They want everybody else to work for them to be able to infinitely start over and screw over everybody within the environment. That's what man code turned into. It turned into that here. You mean to tell me that I'm supposed to go around policing these motherfuckers? No, hell no. At some point, it's up to you to be around people who are doing better than that, man. Yeah. They'll be like, wait a minute. Where the hell did they find gold? Wait a minute. Where did they find gold enough to melt gold and formulate a golden cow with it and then turn around and worship the goddamn cow? Bro, you can't save these people. He wasn't even up there all that long. And they forgot all of their whole training. But somehow you want us to police SYSBM, Passport Bros, and the Black Manosphere. Are you fucking serious? Bro, I don't think you know what you're asking, man. What's going on, Raffle? You know what's going on? Man, listen. Let them dudes deal with that, man. Let them deal with that. Let them deal with that. People are out of pocket. Not movements. Movements are choices. Movements are processing facilities. Process facilities ain't gonna help somebody who is looking to find their way around this stuff to find their way around it. Bro, they've already made their choice that they were never going to be family and brotherhood with you a long time ago. They were just waiting on you to catch up. They were waiting on you to catch up with them. This is why SYSBM and the Black Brain Trust, you can't infiltrate. You can't infiltrate those movements. I could guarantee you right now, there could be a guy who come online tomorrow, call himself, what's called Israel Online. There's a dude who could come online tomorrow, call himself the Black Brain Trust, and talk about nothing but women on that motherfucker. You know what would happen? Most people would leave this actual environment and go join that channel because that person is the Black Brain Trust, and they talking about all the fuckery, stupid, and bullshit that the Brain Trust is not known for dealing with. And guess what? Most of these people own my actual analytics would take their ass over there and watch them. Yes, they would. And don't tell me that they wouldn't, because they've done it with every other thing here. Again, you're trying to change the minds and the hearts of people who already have their mind made up. I'm telling you, people would do that shit in a heartbeat. Yes, they would do that. And they would get mad support from people. They would get mad support from people from doing that. Oh man, bro, they disrespecting the hell out of the Black Brain Trust. Look at this new Black Brain Trust, man. Look at the stuff that they doing. Yeah, you'll see all these people who are over there and Edwards and BGS's chat over there in that chat too. Yes, you would see that. I'm telling you, you would see that shit. Trust me, it didn't need to directly happen. New content creators came up and did the same exact thing, except for call themselves the Black Brain Trust. They do the same shit. Listen, if you have a female-based platform without the ability to take care of these women in any meaningful way, bro, you've been full of shit the entire time. There ain't no way you could be able to pull up in anybody's city, start talking all this crazy shit about how you trying to fix the women in some certain community, and you ain't putting no shit down on it. They wouldn't let you get away with that. They wouldn't let you get away with it. But somehow you can do this shit online. You can sit in the corner of your own house or even have a green screen behind you with all these funny graphics and shit and do all this stupid shit. Nothing about progress. It's too easy. That's what I'm saying. Checking for you, man, bro. Leave them behind, bro. Leave them behind. I'm not going to help unless I'm getting paid millions of dollars through a nonprofit organization to go help these motherfuckers at this point. Man, fuck that. End of the day, y'all can't have us try to police other people, man. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, listen. Like I said, man, this shit is a processing facility. We know what's in the majority of these communities, man. We know what's in the majority of these communities. We know what's here in the majority. So why are we so shocked and surprised with every movement end up turning into hood talk shit? Why are we so surprised about that? You got people talk about strong manhood talk. Yeah, man, all these damaged pieces of shit show up to those dumbass fucking live streams and just sit there. You can't help that, man. Bro, you cannot help that. I swear to God, you cannot help that. If somebody isn't already a man with self esteem when they got here, they're not just gonna pick it up. You're gonna have these masculine shines who just show up and just put out their shit, and these people just show up to it, man. They wanted to go to a school of T.S. Johnson's victimhood, so that way he can help your black boy stay and be a black victim. You can't fix dudes like that, man. Can't fix them. Leave them out there. Leave them out there. They wanted to be victims, man. You mean to tell me that they just can't understand that they ain't got their shit together, and any woman will allow herself to be penetrated by a dude who also ain't shit? It's somebody that you can't help. Can't help nobody like that. Yeah, that's why I'm saying that you can't blame the boomers for that. This is a societal wide issue. It isn't just boomers that have that type of problem. That's why I've never really blamed boomers like that. I just know that my dad wasn't like that. I didn't know that my uncles was like that. Well, I had like one uncle who was full of shit like that, but he died very early. He got his ass killed by a motherfucker that my motherfucking grandfather hugged the shit out of. Patted that dude on the back. Thank you for getting this fucking nigga the fuck out of here. Lord knows I wasn't gonna waste any of my time doing it, but at the end of the fucking day, thank you for taking this nigga off world. That dude didn't give a fuck about that shit, man. That dude going around robbing, raping, stealing, killing, doing all this stupid ass shit until somebody wasn't trying that shit. A very welcome member to the family. Got rid of one fuck nigga like, hey, this is the dude right here that we need to be around. Goddamn right. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, man, this is the dude right here that did something great, and you should be proud of this man. You should be proud of this man and what he fucking did. Yep, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, if everybody has standards like that, bro, like this would be a very short-lived thing for fuck niggas to be getting on with that shit, man. It'd be a very, very, very short-lived thing, man. Very short-lived thing. Yeah, he didn't give a fuck about that. All these women who are mad as shit, man, kicked all them hoes out the family, man. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you like the amount of fun this dude brought around, and that's why he's laying in that fucking box. Man, bro, you should have seen that fucking funeral, man. That dude did nothing but talk cold cash shit to that dude's family and all them bitches he got pregnant while that dude laid there dead in that fucking box, man. Bro, I was fucking laughing like a motherfucker, man. My grandfather didn't give a fuck about these dudes. He didn't care. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Wacky Word of O. That's what I'm saying. You don't see me complain about Boomer. No, sir. I know most of these dudes was fuck niggas regardless of what they actually accomplished. Hmm. Did my grandfather leave me a big ass house and a big ass piece of money? Fuck no. He didn't leave me shit. My dad didn't leave me shit either. Do I blame them for me not having shit correct in my fucking life? That didn't get it corrected as far as it went? No. They let me know that shit was on me in my own time. I couldn't depend on old ass men in their fucking 80s and 90s and fucking upper 40s to help me with shit that was basically my responsibility. Bro, listen. You here for what the fuck you want to be here for. If you want to hear the sports stats, you tune in to Sports Center. You want to learn about history, you tune into the History Channel. You want to see animals out in the wild doing stupid shit, you tune into National Geographic. If people got that frame of mind to have all these channels that they can specifically go to for the reason why they go to it, what's so different about these movements? These movements are no different. These movements are no different. Period. People want to be bullshitted. It's easier and better than realizing reality, man. You can't help people with that. That's probably where it started at. But then again, there should have been an after actions report of people telling people how to move. Like, dude, most of these people who ain't shit, they know people who graduated in their own graduating class who moved on to do decent things, who moved on to do better things. This ain't boomer specific. This is Generation X specific. This is millennial specific. This is Generation Z specific. You can have somebody go through their high school class with their high school yearbook photo, and you can point out how these people lives turned out. Are we gonna blame the boomers for all this bullshit? No, dude, you have a choice. You have a choice. Did I really want that my parents were fucking or grandparents were fucking sharecroppers to be the actual the highest point of where we were supposed to be in society and life? No. Yes, I chopped cotton when I was in my fucking teens to make money. Do I want a son or a daughter to be doing that stupid shit? Hell no. No. And I wasn't handed shit. I was handed perspective. I was handed perspective to get out of here and go see the world and go do shit with your life. Or you're going to end up like everybody else around here. That's the best advice ever. What's going on, Lonzo? That's the best advice ever. My dad, we didn't have no, since the insurance guy's here, that's the insurance guy. Yeah, we lost our whole standard of life because we didn't have life insurance. We didn't have life insurance at all. We thought everybody was going to live forever. Mom was a stay at home nurse for my grandmother. Father was a fucking truck driver. We were balling back then. Guess what happened after my dad died? Yeah, he died, and his income was supplemented with motherfucking Social Security or whatever the fucking death benefit is, and the free burial from the military. Yeah, lost the whole standard of living, had to move back to the motherfucking hood. That's what we did. And that's for real. That's what happened in my case. You never hear me come on this fucking live stream. My dad died at 42 years old. 42. 42. I cannot imagine being alive right now and me being dead and having motherfucking all them kids. I couldn't imagine that shit. What's going on, Isaac? Yeah. You think I'm gonna repeat this shit? You think I'm gonna repeat any of this shit? You must be fucking crazy. Nah, man. Nah, man. Bro, listen, man. I'd rather work every motherfucking day than have to live that type of shit down. Did I let all these people down? Hell no. That's just worse than death. I would never be able to put no kid in no circumstances, situation like that. Or what I grew up in, man. There's no way I'd be able to do some shit like that. No. It is their fault, Alonzo, that they did not have life insurance. I'm saying that in my generation, I have the type of insurances that's gonna make sure that I'm gonna be straight. That's what I'm saying. That's specifically what I'm saying. Yeah, that early. Yeah, it is a must. It is a must. Being able to pay that house off completely, to be able to survive on that one parent income, that shit matters, man. That shit matters like a motherfucker. That shit matters. We could have used that extra $100,000. Shit, we could have built, uh, paid for and fixed up a couple of those houses in the community for that type of money. Rented them shits out. Probably still could have owned them to this day. But hey, but hey, that accidental death and insurance 10 grand didn't go no motherfucking way. Trying to raise all them kids, 10 grand, fuck out of here. Shit was never gonna work. But that's where we at, folks. Well, I got to get back to this road because that's what I love doing. I have to fit y'all inside of my life. I don't have time to be sitting in a big ass house in Denver, fucking trying to put a live stream together between lights and shit. Fuck that. I'd rather be out here doing shit. 'Cause that's what I like doing. All right. I want to thank you guys for coming through. Stop coming to us trying to make us police movements. These people have decided on their own where they're gonna put their eyeballs at. They see themselves in these people that they are listening to. I want to thank you guys for coming through. I am the man tomorrow. Make sure you like the video among leaving. And you guys have a really nice rest of y'all day.